McCormack is Executive Vice President of Digital Media for MTV Networks. Welcome to Bloomberg. Well, it's great to have you. I have to ask you, first of all, about the Beyonce baby bump shot. I mean, how great was that for ratings?
We were very happy, and we think you know, Beyonce chose the VMAs as the place that she wanted to announce this awesome news, but we weren't complaining.
Now, obviously, MTV is owned by Viacom, which makes most of its money from cable subscriptions. How do you balance the pressures of reaching viewers online and reaching them through the network without them, you know, cutting the cord, essentially?
Pressures? What pressures? No. You know, there's constantly this conversation around, you know, digital versus television. We actually think it's moved beyond that. We don't think the audience are actually looking at different devices or different platforms in terms of, hey, I'm going to go into digital today. We think audiences are actually completely live in a multi-screen environment where they want to touch the VMAs on all screens. They want to touch Jersey Shore. They want to follow Snooki. And I think that's what we're doing. We're trying to evolve our content where we don't really delineate between which platforms we're on or which devices that the consumer is touching us.
Now, you were primarily responsible for integrating Twitter and Facebook into the network. Tell me about the challenges you face, you know, when doing that sort of thing. It's not so easy as let's just start using Twitter.
No, it's not, and it's not just me. There's a wonderful team back in New York who actually do all the work. I just come here and talk about it. They actually do all the work. But you know, we started this probably 3.5 years ago. It didn't just happen overnight. We've sort of realized that, hey, you know what? Maybe the social platform is something new and different, and maybe it needs to be programmed. So that was a big aha moment for us. We didn't just say, hey, Jersey Shore's on at 10 p.m. We said, let's program it. What we do really well at Viacom is we make content. So let's treat social media as a platform to make new content. And we put 200, 300 stories out a day in social media platforms. And every time we put something on Facebook, you know, 5,000 people hit the like button. And when we have grown from, I think, 5 million Facebook fans in January 2010 to 100 million, or we'll finish out the year at 100 million. Now, when we get a Beyonce moment, it's a huge amplification platform. So we actually see this kind of virtuous cycle of media screens, and if we can create the right content for the right screen, move users around, and then frankly take our advertisers along for the ride, we've done something successful.
Now, you guys do have some competition online. You've got Pitchfork, music blogs, music videos online at YouTube and other places. Universal cut off MTV from using music videos online. How do you defend yourself against that kind of competition?
Well, you know, we put our first music video on there in 1981. So I think the opportunity that we have is, again, people love music videos, and anytime we can work with a record label, we probably have worked with labels longer than most of the upstarts out there today. But we really think the opportunity that we have is to evolve new types of content. So, you know, whether that's unplugged performance, where you're seeing your favorite artist in a different light, whether it's the Lady Gaga interview, whether it's the article about the Kanye West new video. So that's really the piece of the pie we want to occupy, which is beyond the music video, if you will. The context about why it happened, and maybe the stories that maybe not everybody else has hit.
So without Universal, you don't have access to artists like Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber and their music videos. I mean, how big a disadvantage is that, and how important is it that you try to restore that kind of access?
Well, I think, you know, you always want to have as much content as you can for your users, but, you know, on television, we play any music we want. In terms of online screens, we want to, you know, again, we think you can get the music video anywhere. So it's almost become a commodity. So where we go is we say, hey, you know what, if you want to watch the video, go here. But if you want to watch the performance of Joe Calderone at the VMAs, well, this is the place you can watch it, because that, we feel, is not a commodity. It's seeing your favorite artist in a completely new light. You know, almost when I first watched Kurt Cobain on Unplugged, I was like, wow, I've never seen this type of view. And I think there's that wow excitement moment that we want to play in. And that's the heritage of not just MTV, but VH1 and CMT and the other brands we have.
Now, Sony's an investor in Vivo, and, you know, another online competitor, along with Universal. Any concerns that you might lose access to their artists' online videos, including Beyonce?
You know, look, we want to work with everybody, and if the economics are right, I'm sure we'll figure out deals. But again, my job is to figure out how to delight music fans, and that's what I try to do.
Facebook just inked a series of partnerships with a number of digital music companies. Have you seen any impact or social impact of that so far on music and music discovery?
I think it's too early to tell, but clearly, you know, look, we live in this massive sharing world. here's where I sort of, wonder. I go, do you really want to share that ABBA track you're listening to with your entire social footprint? So I'm not sure about that. So I think, again, there's huge ramifications for the fact that every human now has a smartphone and is connected to 500 other humans. And nobody talks about Facebook on Facebook. They talk about media. They talk about television shows, movies, music. So I think we are heading into an era of, massive sharing of media. But I think that's great if you make great content. So we're actually very excited about the fact that the water cooler is now 750 million users strong.
All right, Dermot McCormack, Executive Vice President at MTV Networks. Thanks so much for joining us
Thank you very much.
On Bloomberg West.